when you could test it out. So if I go testing, 1 2 1 2, and then unplug the mic, and then
it's going to be good audio anyway because it's quite. Yo, what up, dudes? So welcome to the next video. We've got 3 reasons why we think you shouldn't do push-pull legs. So stick around, watch the video, and we'll get to it.
push-pull legs is not saying that we have a specific agenda about.
We're not bagging on it.
But we see too many guys now that are using it for bodybuilding. What's your opinion? I don't think push-pull legs is a program that is for bodybuilding.
For bodybuilding, especially for old school bodybuilding, man. If you want to preach old school as a classic bodybuilder, like, we're really
because we're about that old school look. There's a comparison of the top 3 of this year's Olympia, the top 3 of in the 90s, and there was that shot of Flex, Kevin, and that, and they all. It seemed like the 90s guys had a better understanding of aesthetics, of proportion, of balance, and of symmetry. If you look at the guys of today, a lot of people always go straight to the conditioning. I think more than the conditioning, really, because there are guys that get in shape now. I think more than the conditioning, what I see as the problem is the balance. And if you actually listen to what Steve Weinberg said when they asked him why Hardy didn't place above William, he said his balance, his flow was gone. Like, he's so lower body dominant. He had T-Rex arms, and this comes, I feel, from these new splits that are coming out like push-pull legs. It might not even be push-pull legs. It might be this whole upper-lower stuff. There's loads of different ones. But if you look back to the guys that really had those classic aesthetic flowing physiques,
they were on a bro split.
They was on that old school bro split. We're doing chest today.
So here's our 3 reasons. Number 1 is, what was number 1? Arms, man. Arms. There's an arm epidemic. Right? Push-pull legs doesn't allow for that volume on arms. I've spoke to loads of guys, countless guys who do push-pull legs, and it's like they do like 1 set of triceps on a push workout. Not 1 set, so 1 exercise, maybe 4 sets for triceps on a push workout. For pull, they'll do like 1 exercise for biceps. That's like just not enough, you know. And then you look at your arms and you're like, yeah, you do just do 1 exercise. You do just for you know, for 1 workout. Like, we're doing arms like twice a week and hitting 3 or 4 movements, you know, for each body part. So we're doing like 8 times the amount of work. If we're doing 4 exercises for the same amount of sets, 4 sets, and twice a week, you're getting 8 times the amount.
I mean, me personally, I feel like push-pull legs is more designed for powerlifting. It focuses on compound movements and progressive overload. That's powerlifting. And when you're bodybuilding, the term bodybuilding, yeah, you are trying to build a body, but bodybuilding, the building phase, is only one facet of that. The other sides to bodybuilding is aesthetics and flow and symmetry and proportion and expression.
And that's our second point, is proportion.
You
can't build proportion with push-pull legs like you can.
Why not, man?
A bro split.
Why not, man? Tell us.
Because you can't what's that word? You can't account for your weak points. You can't prioritise. You can't account for your weak points as effectively in a push-pull legs program as you can for a bro split. You know, if you're doing push-pull legs, you're kind of stuck with what you're doing. You're training everything pretty evenly across 6, or they do like an 8-day split. Maybe they'll do like push-pull legs, or they'll do like push-pull off, legs off, push-pull off, legs off. I see a lot of people do it like that. So you don't account for being able to do more of your weak points.
And honestly,
you're not going to change your proportions.
To add to that, we get so many guys contact John, mostly, not me, but so many guys approach John and they're like, dude, I just want to look like you. Your physique's flawless. It's balanced. How'd you get that flow, bruv? And then when we say, oh, you know, we just train by feel, and that.
When we say
it's
we train,
almost like they can't comprehend it and it's not their fault because they're so bombarded with the bullshit that's out there now on social media and this. It's
like when we say we only train shoulders like once every 2 weeks, or we train quads, like we train legs like once every 10 days.
I mean, my shoulders are actually, they've got to a point where they're slightly weaker now, so I will have to prioritise them. But John
you know what I mean?
Can't, because his shoulders grow so fast. If he trains them more than once every couple of weeks, they just grow to him. They'll overshadow his arms.
Get this as well. If you're a classic bodybuilder, classic physique dudes, you've got a weight limit, okay? You've got a weight cap. If you reach that weight cap and your proportions are not how you want to look,
you're fucked.
Then you're fucked. Like, what are you going to do? You've now got to sacrifice muscle in areas, which is a lot harder than just to not have built that muscle in the first place, to then improve other areas, to change your proportions, okay? You need to look. I think that nobody looks at their physique anymore. No. Like, actually look at your physique. What do you need? Look at how you want to look.
But this comes with the oversaturation of prioritising programs, you know? And I think it comes from the gurus and all that. Gurus. Because what the gurus can't sell you a program if there is no program.
Yeah.
So the guru always tell you, well, you've got to stick to the program. It's legs day today, or it's push day today, or it's... But if you walk in, your legs are insane, and you don't need to fucking train your legs, and your upper body is way behind, then you need to get in and smash some fucking upper body.
Train some fucking chest.
The plan doesn't account for that. So, you know, if people can't push this plan on you, then they're not gonna preach actually what's true, which is you just need to prioritise. I've said it countless times to people. I saw an interview of Arnold Schwarzenegger when he said, you know, he'd walk into the gym, no plan, and he'd go, what do I need to train today? Sometimes it might be chest, and he'd be like, you know,
it's that
chest the other day.
It's that old school mentality of going into the gym and just what we were saying the other day, just figuring it out. Going into the gym, not worrying about the plan all the time, just knowing what you need to work on. Look at yourself, look at your physique, or what do I need to work on, and go and work on that, you know? Obviously, there needs to be some program. You can't just go in the gym and train chest every day, you know. There needs to be you need to work some form of routine out for yourself, but you need to prioritize. People are not prioritizing body parts. All they're doing is that this is what they're doing. I know they'll do it. People come back at us saying, but you can prioritize stuff and push pull legs, because what people will do is we'll be like, if I need more triceps and more chest over shoulders, then my push program will be more volume on chest, triceps, and only a little bit of shoulders. But if your shoulders are bigger because they just grow like a motherfucker, if you just touch them, they just grow, you're still not prioritizing, because they're probably still going to grow at the same rate as everything else.
And also, if you're a true bodybuilder, like if you truly are trying to achieve that aesthetic flow and balance, it's not about just prioritizing shoulders. You might have weak rear delts, you know. If it's your tricep, it might be your lateral sweep rather than your short head that you need to prioritise. If it's your bicep, you might be lacking peak.
Yeah.
You know, like I was lacking peak last year. Now my peaks are pretty. I'm happy with them. That was because I was hitting 2 peak movements in my bicep workout. I prioritised it. You know,
if you need more brachioradialis, then you need to prioritise hammer strength movements, hammer grip movements,
and maybe even reverse curls in if they're still not coming up.
Yeah. So prioritise, man.
Prioritise.
Right. Number 3 is, I think the point of number 3 we're trying to bring up is how you can't bring about density into a physique if there's not enough volume. Push-pull legs doesn't account for enough volume to create density, does it?
And this is where you'll get all the powerlifters that jump on and say, "Oh, you see all these dense powerlifters."
They're not though. They're fucking tiny.
Yeah.
Compared to bodybuilders,
they are.
You powerlifters are fucking tiny, man.
Look at 2 bodybuilders I always bring up when I talk about volume: Lee Priest and Jay Cutler. Now, Jay Cutler is crazy because all you'll hear through the industry is people say, "Oh, listen to Jay. Everyone asks Jay. Jay knows. Jay fucking does know, and Jay done volume, lots of it, and he still preaches it to this day."
So did Ronnie.
You know,
train twice a day.
Yeah,
Lee Priest, Flex Wheeler.
You see
Kevin
Ronnie.
Mahoney,
You see
list
Ronnie
them.
training with these insane amounts of weight, but he was just a freak. He could do that with volume.
He done it also with sets.
Yeah.
You can find you can see the yeah. There's certain lifts where he just does like 2, 3, or 4 reps.
Yeah,
you know,
but
when he's
they're
done
the,
them
like,
big lifts.
ridiculous ones.
But you can also find videos of him where he's saying, "I'm a bodybuilder, man. I'll only do 10 reps or more." You know,
Yeah.
there's videos of him saying where like it's bodybuilding, man. You got to do at least 10 reps. You know,
Lee Haney
Like-
back in the day used to say, all my opponents are doing 4 sets, so I'll do 5. He was
stimulate,
volume.
don't annihilate.
You know, Arnie was volume. They used to train twice a day. Haney
For
was
hours.
volume. You know,
Like Lee Priest said, you can't be the best in the world if you only do it for an hour a day.
exactly.
You know.
And realistically, the only guy that sort of goes against the grain, if you look through bodybuilding history, up until these recent guys, which I believe are just, their flow is out of whack, was Dorian. And let's have it right, Dorian beat everyone en masse, but his flow was out of whack.
His flow was shit.
His arms was too small for the rest of his body, and subsequently as well, by pushing the body the way he did, he ended up with more injuries.
Yeah,
You know,
which is
two
not,
of his Sandows,
which is not what you want to
two
do.
of his Sandows are under, you know, under scrutiny.
And like we've trained with people, you know, again, not bagging on no one, but we've trained with people who do these sorts of programs, and they don't have the same sort of muscular endurance,
No.
you know. So then that relates to posing. How are you going to get on stage? This is where so many people lack in posing. They can't stand on stage and pose for as long as they need to and hold the poses like they have to, because they're not training the
They've
way
got
they
no
need to.
muscular
They have
endurance.
no muscular endurance. They can't hold a contraction because they don't know what holding a contraction feels like. Because if you added up the amount of time by the end of, so let's say you do a push session and you change your chest compared to us just doing a chest session, who's been under tension longest?
Yeah.
You know, we'll do double, maybe triple the amount of tension that you've done, and we'll do it a couple times a week, you know. And then you wonder why there's certain people get this crazy conditioning, these crazy lines, this, you know, and they just look fuller and denser. And then you wonder why, you know, because they're not doing push-pull legs. Because push-pull legs is not for bodybuilding,
No, it's not.
basically.
It's not. And look, we're looking at longevity as well,
Yeah. Not
No.
getting injured.
not getting injured.
It's
The
not
only-
about constantly putting weight on the bar.
I'm 35 years old. I've been training for 17 years now, and I've only ever picked up one injury, like serious, through the whole time I've ever lifted, and that was when I went on a powerlifting program. I'm not bagging on powerlifting. Powerlifting's awesome if you're a powerlifter, but we're talking about bodybuilding, and this is where I do find in this day and age, you get a lot of powerlifters that want to bag on bodybuilders and the way that they train. It's like, look, stay in your lane. You're a powerlifter.
Stay
So
in your lane.
if you want to tell powerlifters how to train, good. But don't come telling the bodybuilders, because it's completely different. It's not the same thing,
Yeah.
you know.
We train with an intention to get on stage to show a package, you know, to show our art, what
Yeah.
we've been working on, not what we do in the gym. What we do in the gym essentially means nothing.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what we do in the gym, whether it looks impressive or doesn't look impressive. What we do in the gym literally means nothing, because we're trying to win bodybuilding shows. We're trying to look good on stage,
Yeah.
you know. We have so many more elements to it, you know. Posing, you know, the routine, learn how to flow with music. Like, if you're a bodybuilder, you should be focusing on these things, not worrying about, you know, did I put fucking 2.5 kilos extra on the bar today?
Case in point, John hasn't squatted in
Over a year now.
over a year. The whole prep, he probably put more density on his legs, and he actually won the show really through his legs, because they were so much better than everyone else's.
Yeah. And we were
And yet
training for
we
2
haven't
hours.
been we've been predominantly using our compound movement as a hack squat, Tom Platt style, for just silly
Ridiculous.
amounts of reps with fuck all weight on the bar.
Mad tension.
Mad
Static
tension.
tension.
And look at
Some
Tom
of the
Platt.
sets that we do are like 8 minutes long. Like,
Yeah.
we could show you videos where you are literally under tension for like 5 to 8 minutes. It's just rep, you know? drop sets, like full reps, negatives, static reps, partials, like the set. It's like, could you imagine being on a hack squat for 8 minutes? That's a fucking long time.
Feels it sometimes too.
Yeah. But that's it, man. Get off the push-pull leg, get on the bro split, how it should be.
If you wanna look like the pros, look at what they're doing.
Yeah.
None of them doing push-pull legs. So, if your coach or your guru has got you on that push-pull legs hype, be like, "Where's my arm day, bitch?"
And where is my arms? Right, so
Anyway,
that's it, dudes.
Keep it old school.
If you like the video, like below, share, and don't forget to subscribe, motherfuckers.
Subscribe. You just scared the fuck out of me. Look at that.
You just go and ruin the video.
Sorry.
But we're still filming.
Give us 10 seconds to finish it.
We'll just finish it and I'll give you a cuddle.
Can't you edit it out?
Yeah, but I'm saying if you just let us finish this, then we're done.
What were you saying?
So
Just that's it really, isn't it?